Jurgen, you and City have been so dominant historically in the last few years. This season is a lot closer. Is that because you guys, your levels have dropped a bit, or is it because teams like Brighton are just much better? And do you think this is going to be a trend? Do you think that really the idea of two teams dominating for 5 years is not going to happen in the next 5 years? It's going to be very close between a number of clubs.
In our best times, 2, 3, whenever, years ago, Brighton was always a tough place to go. So it's not that now new that Brighton all of a sudden plays great football and we have to run more than people would expect and blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God, they have possession as well. We just have to go through it. So Arsenal obviously built now pretty much without European football, or a little bit of European football in the last few years, a sensational team. Mikel had time and is doing an outstanding job. So they will not go away easily and just say, "Oh, we had a year. Thank you very much." United obviously is now in a really good moment, and whatever happens there, they will not stop investing, improving, these kind of things. If City theoretically not wins the league, I don't think Pep will accept these kind of situations for a couple of years. So they will go Tottenham, Newcastle, so all there. So it's not. I don't know. And then that Brighton is doing really well. We have to see how long Brighton can keep the team together and these kind of things. We know that these kind of things could happen. But apart from that, they do extremely well, and there are other teams as well. What happened in this league with City and us in the last few years was absolutely exceptional. It's a bit embarrassing when I have to say that, but the level of consistency we showed in that period is crazy, absolutely crazy. Because we don't use that not only 1% as an excuse and say, oh, come on, 5 years you're in charge of football, now you have to watch it like this. So it's not like that, but we will see how consistency is really the most difficult thing to do and to have in football, and we will see how that goes for other teams. But how they deal with little drops will come. How they deal with injuries, all this kind of, we will see. But it's pretty likely that it will get tougher for everybody. Up there to stay in the league, to qualify for Europe, Champions League, and especially to become champion. Yeah, that will be absolutely difficult. So because of the quality of the teams, the money around, and the quality of the coaches, that's I think that improved as well a lot. So many good coaches are out there, and that makes it really interesting.
Steve.
Yeah, Jurgen. You've obviously probably seen Pep's comments after the Spurs game, where he kind of questioned the hunger and desire of his team and suggested that, years of winning kind of breeds kind of, not a complacency, but it's harder to get yourself up for stuff when maybe things are not going well. And he said the challenge now for him is the reason he signed his new contract, the reason he's there now, is to get that right again. Do you feel in a similar way, because things have gone so well for you here and you've had set fabulous standards the last 3 or 4 years, is the challenge now for you one that you're really relishing, to get everybody back onto track again?
I don't think it's a race, but I think I said that before Pep said it. That's the reason why I signed a new contract, to be 100% honest. I knew it will be difficult, absolutely. Yes, it was super. Last year was super intense. The last year was much longer than we could expect, because who expects to go in all finals? So we are positive and optimistic, but you cannot expect that really 3 weeks later with the preseason started and all these kind of things. That's made it all not easier. Look, that it will be difficult was clear. But with lesser injuries, I think we agree we could have easily like 4 or 5 points at least more. So I don't play a brilliant season then, but we are really around and fighting for the Champions League. And that's a normal season. The injuries made it especially average or bad season so far. So that's the difference then in these moments. So all the teams up there, if decisive players are out, then you cannot just replace them out the next 3, bam, 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 all these kind of things. That's not possible. For the things we spoke about, like patterns, working on patterns, things go really well in a specific way, and that's why. And you don't have time to train on top of that. So if something happens in the season, you have 3 days to the next game. So it's not that you can invent football new in these 1.5 sessions. Yeah, it's exactly like that. I said it now during the week, I think. So I didn't become a bad manager overnight. I was never as good as people probably said. I'm not as bad as some people might think. But imagine this: you would talk today to another coach. So I go, we win all 4 trophies, and I say, see you later, holiday. Imagine that you see a different face, and he has to explain these things. It tells you, nobody would listen. I say, no. Last year it was great, and this year is not great. So go. So these kind of things, you have to be just. You need wide shoulders and really take it. It's tough. I'm sorry, but we will go for it with all we have to get out of it, and then to do it in a way that the people can't wait to go to the stadium again, where I think, okay, great, next spectacle, let's go there. So that's how it is. That's why I say, how you behave and how you deal with the situation in these moments decides about the future as well. That's why I'm really happy how we did it so far, and I really hope that we can get through that together, and then we will do the right stuff to be much closer again, and from there we all know everything can happen.
Very last one.
Yeah, just leading on from that, Jurgen, Bill Shankly said that Liverpool exists to win trophies. We won 6 trophies in 4 years, so winning becomes a habit. When you look at the situation now, is it important to the legacy of this current team that you continue to, despite the league form and the injuries, is it important to win a trophy again this season to keep that legacy going?
It would be important, yes. Can I promise it? No. So it's oh my God! Without meeting Bill and Bob ever, I love them to bits. But a few things they were probably from their point of view, easy to say, and you now throw it at me every now and then. Second place is blah blah blah, and this was in our dressing room at Melwood. Well, thank you very much. I was more often second in my life than first, to be honest. So thanks, I'm here. It can change here anyway. So if you look in 20 years back to this team and you see about that, then there will people will say, what a time. Wow. So will they talk about this season? So far we don't give them a lot of reasons, but we are in 2 cup competitions and we don't give up in the league. Why should we? It's just not, we have to make steps. So it's not that I say, okay, now we go for them and whoever is in front of us, 10 points or whatever, we get there. But there's a lot of games to play and we will be ready. But we talk here, I cannot talk here like we won them already. So we have to fight and then we go in it and positive, worked hard, go in it and make the next step. Extend your good spells. Be yourself much longer in a game again. So that's what we do. And then we will see where we end up. So legacy. 10 years, 20 years, you look back and say, okay, that was great. Absolutely great. Oh, and I enjoyed it. And the final here, and the final there, great. And it was close there. And my God, how close it was with the being champion or not. So all these, that's great. Who cares about that now? I couldn't care less. I couldn't. I don't think for a second that we won the Champions League. It doesn't feel. So, yes, I'm going to think about it. So it means we want to win it again, of course. Does that look in a moment like we will smash Madrid? Maybe not, but it's a competition we are pretty good at. So in 4 weeks or whenever the game is, we'll be ready for that game. That's 100%. But how is the tough stuff here is to explain pretty much something which is not very positive. Nobody wants to have these conversations. You don't want to sit here and listen to me constantly because it all sounds like excuses. I don't go for excuses, but it sounds like, oh, this is not good for you. Oh, that didn't work out. But the others do pretty well. Yes, they do really well, and I respect that a lot. But we want to beat them anyway. And now we will see how we can do that on Sunday.
Thank you.
But love to say it was a pleasure. Eh? trophy.